Jake Paul's father has requested for the Mike Tyson battle to be dropped as of late. Jake Paul shared that his dad stalled in tears when he declared he'd step into the ring with previous heavyweight champion Mike Tyson when asked at a new public interview for what valid reason. "He's battling Tyson," Paul answered, "leaving a mark on the world. This is what's genuinely going on with it for me, man. I'm a youngster from Ohio. They won't ever give me credit. That is simply reality. Assuming I was strolling on water, they would agree that this is on the grounds that I was unable to swim, and this is to impact the world forever. Individuals believe I will get taken out by areas of strength for this person." The 27-year-old warrior is approaching the finish of his instructional course as he plans for his impending session. Paul, who first entered the enclosing scene quite a while since, cut out a standing in the game. In spite of his generally short vocation, the American has guaranteed triumphs over eminent adversaries. For example, Tyrone Woodley, Anderson Silva, and Nate Diaz, flaunting a 10-1 record. His underside misfortune stopped by ruling against Tommy Rath last year. Jake Paul, broadly referred to as the Issue Kid, has become famous by taking on MMA contenders inside the boxing ring. Anyway, his forthcoming conflict with Tyson presents a totally new test. Iron Mike, who last ventured into the expert ring in 2005, after a misfortune to Kevin McBride, hasn't contended at that level since. Still, the unbelievable fighter took part in a presentation match against Roy Jones Jr. only a long time back, showing he's not completely eliminated from the game. Tyson is hailed as perhaps of the best heavyweight in history. Yet worries for his prosperity have developed as he gets ready to confront a rival 31 years his lesser. Jake added, "Everyone individuals in my remarks express glance at his influence. He will get code. This is taking a risk to battle someone really horrible. You got to gamble with it for the bread roll. That is the situation." Excited at the opportunity to confront a boxing symbol, the Issue Kid could scarcely hold back his energy. Yet the news struck a totally different harmony with his dad, Greg, who was moved to tears after learning his child would step into the ring with Tyson. In a meeting with Sports Representative Jake Paul, communicated that his forthcoming battle with Mike Tyson was an honor and a mutually beneficial arrangement for him. He referenced that he found it hard to accept, as Mike Tyson was his dad's #1 warrior while growing up, and his father had even cried whenever he shared the insight about the open door. Paul likewise portrayed the occasion as dreamlike and famous, featuring the meeting of the co-headliner between Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano. He brought up that they were carrying ladies boxing to one of the most seen occasions ever, which he thought about an extraordinary achievement. Anyway, he recognized that as he kept on moving higher in his profession, there would be more pundits yet. He acknowledged this as a feature of human instinct. The Issue Kid has watched long periods of tape to concentrate on Tyson's past battles and accepts he will attempt to trap me on the ropes. Afterward, it passes over to points on each side. When asked what his strategies will be, Paul answered to box outwardly, and afterward utilize my footwork to be more deft and get him pursuing me, and afterward assault him when he's out of position. That ought to disappoint him. Jake Paul has uncovered in an amazing turn that he's been preparing with warriors weighing 300 pounds as a component of his serious planning to take on previous heavyweight best on the planet, Mike Tyson. As the battle approaches, Paul has made a surprising disclosure. The powerhouse conceded that in anticipation of his go head-to-head with Iron Mike, he's been fighting with monsters weighing in at 300 pounds. In a meeting with Sports Delineated, he said, "It's been going astonishing serious camp. I'm fighting 300 pounds folks one after the other, so my body is hurting, my bones are sore, they punch much harder, and grappling with them in the ring and competing is undeniably challenging. Yet on November 15th I will be set. We've prepared hard to make the battle simple in the months, paving the way to the initially booked date this year." The 27-year-old ended up tipping the scales at 230 pounds, a critical shift from his regular load on his webcast in May. He commented, "Typically, I'm battling at 200 and strolling around at 210. Peculiar to me, I'm weighing 230. He even engaged pressing on muscle to arrive at 240 pounds while getting ready for the forthcoming match. Anyway, this time around, he plans to step into the ring a piece lighter this month's heavyweight standoff." In a new discussion with The Hollywood Journalist about his weight, Paul shared that he's right now sitting at around 216 pounds and hopes to tip the scales at 220 on battle day. He took ownership of the assumption that his adversary would convey more weight. Tyson will presumably be 235. He conceded the Issue Kid has firmly concentrated on Tyson's past sessions, anticipating that his adversary will endeavor to trap him before their expected fight 1 month from now. Boxing genius Mike Tyson has not answered Jake Paul's $5 million deal recently. The issue kid got consideration with a striking recommendation for Tyson, a stunning $5 million on the off chance that he can endure through the fourth round of their forthcoming battle. In a TikTok video posted on his wagering stage, Peter Paul is seen leaning back shirtless on a lounge chair, energetically stacking cash on his fake stomach. Mikey, on the off chance that you can endure multiple rounds with me, I'll give you an extra $5 million. The web-based entertainment star pronounced the 27-year-old American wonder introduced a captivating proposition. Should Tyson not cause it past the fourth round, he'll to be compelled to convey an enduring image of his misfortune to the rising star, he added. Yet, in the event that you don't, then you need to get a tattoo that says "I love Jake Paul, arrangement or no arrangement." During a new meeting with Sports showed, Paul was addressed concerning the bet, and assuming that Tyson had answered the pitch that might have changed the game, he said, "I assume my technical knockout or him in a just 4 or 5. However, definitely he hasn't answered the wager, and I don't think he presumably will. I believe he's secured in war mode since the battle was formally reported." Paul has been persistent in his joke of his opponent last month. He even posted a video of himself claiming to lift loads while brandishing a curiously large fat suit. While Paul appears to delight in these pokes at his boxing rival, Tyson stays persuaded that the youthful force to be reckoned with is completely dedicated to the forthcoming standoff. Talking at a press occasion when tested about Paul's fat hits, the carefully prepared fighter remarked, "I believe he's viewing it exceptionally in a serious way. Since his well-being relies upon it, I'm not looking past him. I'm not messing with it at all." Tyson featured the force of his preparation routine, paving the way to their matchup in a visit with Jimmy Iron. Mike certainly asserted that he's devoting 6 hours every day to the exercise center, regardless of the questions of cynics. "I'm preparing very hard. I complete 6 hours per day. I start at 11 o'clock. Also, could leave the rec center at 5 o'clock. Tyson guaranteed a shock. Kimmel asked, "Goodness, 11 o'clock. So that is 6 hours in a row, or is there a midday break?" The ex-champ yielded. There was a short recess, leaving Kimmel surprised as he shouted, "Goodness." In a similar meeting, Tyson was gotten some information about his impending battle with Paul and whether he wanted to be high during his reaction. "I will be so high off life, no doubt." When Kimmel tested, further inquiring as to whether he would be high on Mary Jane, Tyson conceded that is plausible too, to which Kimmel hilariously answered, "Good gracious, my bet is getting lower as we talk." In the meantime, Roy Jones Jr. has uncovered his enthusiasm to get into shape for a potential conflict with Jake Paul in the event that he wants to step in for Mike Tyson. The 55-year-old boxing legend made his goals clear after the first date for the eagerly awaited session among Paul and Tyson was deferred. "I'm somewhat pondering that I could attempt to get into shape on the off chance that happens. Perhaps I get myself in shape for that." Jones conceded to Bitway before this year in regards to the chance of battling Paul. He added, "I never contemplated making it happen yet with the circumstance of the battle. I feel that is smart, and I'll be prepared and in shape since, in such a case that the battle doesn't occur, then the best person to substitute instead of Mike Tyson to battle Jake Paul is something I have been pondering on the off chance that the battle is out there." Yes, however, he hung up his boxing gloves a long time back. Jones found himself unfit to oppose the charm of a rebound, venturing once again into the ring last September for a match against previous UFC champion Anthony Pettis. The session finished in a focus's misfortune, yet it reignited his energy for the game. Jones likewise tended to the hypotheses encompassing an expected confrontation with Tommy fierceness appearance of Jake Paul, and shared his fervor about the chance of confronting Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. He said there was clearly the Tommy wrath thing that surfaced, and afterward, a day or two ago, someone found out if I would battle Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. in a show. That is insane. As he considered the profoundly pitched potential session, Jones conceded he battles to see Paul arising triumphant against Tyson, naming the last option as conceivably overpowering for the powerhouse-turned-fighter. Visiting with battle publicity, Jones portrayed his considerations. "It's a youthful lion and an old lion. It's an incredible circumstance for them. It allows Jake an opportunity with Mike being however old as he may be. I believe it's an incredible chance for the two warriors. Yet I actually think Mike will be a smidgen a lot for Jake in spite of the fact that Jones is sharp. Sources demonstrate that Tyson is currently in excellent condition and ready to take on Paul. Recently, Tyson encountered a well-being alarm when a serious ulcer discharge up made wooziness during his outing from Miami, Los Angeles in May. Anyway, he has since made a full recuperation. When paramedics showed up at Remis to treat Tyson, they checked the occasion and gave him the confirmation that his condition was steady. Tyson unveiled to Mail Online the reason for his well-being alarm.